騒動
Hey, we're here. We did it.
We did.
Hey,
This-
hello.
This isn't the podcast.
No, it's not. This is a very different setup. Welcome to the first episode of Streamin. It was supposed to be Stream, but I was like, you could use a little punch. I mean, it's Streamin. But guys, welcome in. Also, I'm your host, Stratos. Here with me today we have
Josh.
I'm not gonna say why.
But yeah, obviously that's Malunis. But yeah, welcome in everybody. We have quite a bit of news to talk about that just happened. This is our brand new format that we're going to be doing for a little bit, just, to get both the news and the podcast situation out of the way.
See how it goes.
Yeah. So, anyway, we got a bit to catch you guys up on. Hello, AJMC, Small Dream, Toku Burst, and Mortal Wombat.
We tweeted out the link, correct?
I believe the link has been tweeted. It was scheduled at least.
Make sure I retweet that. Yeah, we're good. We got it out. All right.
Heck yeah, cool. And also, I really want to do something about that thumbnail because I'm kind of like 50% on that one.
I actually really like it.
Really? Okay.
I do. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I guess I'm the asshole. Hey.
Well, I mean, if you really hate it, you could change it, but
I don't hate it. I just think it could be better. But you know what's even better than that?
Ultraman Storius.
What?
Moebius.
What?
Maybe Ultraman Moebius Storius.
Oh.
Storius.
Kashin.
Kashin.
Kashin Redux.
Hey. All right. So
Kashin Final Chapter Remix Prologue.
So I'll say this, we all knew that when they did. So this is back before Storius was even a thing.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Solomon, and then we were like, well, obviously when they do Solomon, they're going to remold Kashin. And we're right. It's just they remolded it here first, and not with.
Yeah, they remolded it for the guy ahead of him. It's a remold, which is a Transformers term.
I swear, if they remolded a third time, that just would not make any sense. Don't do it.
No, it wouldn't.
You don't need to do it every single time.
So let's hop into these images, huh? Here's the first one. We're talking about Storius first.
I like how we got back-to-back Storius, like monster form last week, rider form this week.
Yeah, for real.
I didn't make mention of it with the monster form, but I can say it now because hey, it's got the same kind of crown. Mm-hmm. I like that the gaps are actually there. That seems like something you would expect to be filled in.
That's true. Yeah, good stuff.
Consider that.
So another thing they wanted to get across is that for whatever reason they zoomed in on the crotch to show us the very nice printing on there, but he's got a lot of cape. And not just
he does, yeah.
Yeah.
Much.
And on top of that, most of them have paint on the inside.
Huh.
Is that because
good.
Solomon is gonna look shitty.
I only got a minute to. I mean, obviously I saw the pictures, but I didn't really get a time to read through the whole blog. So I was looking through the tweet thread, Yeah. And so you said that this is the King Durian Arms cape.
I believe it's the same. We'll get to those images in a bit.
Right. I was going to say, is that maybe why it has paint on it? Because that is from a premium set?
I don't know.
So maybe it was just easier to, you know what I mean?
I don't know if paint operations are on the same, factory lineup as
I guess that's
molding.
True. Yeah.
Because, typically, sometimes we get...
Or maybe that's where the budget came from. They didn't have to remold it, so they could use that towards painting.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might... I mean, that cape, I feel, is big enough to warrant its own, little tree.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be... Yeah, that could definitely be a possibility. I see what you're saying.
Hey, so I also just want to take a look at the comments for a second and say, Wombat saying, "Let me tell you a story. It's about a swordsman who lives in the blue world." So Small Dream also says, "Did Solomon have a coat?" Because this is honestly the first time I'm seeing it on Storius. I don't know. I think he just had the cape.
Yeah, he definitely had the cape.
The coat is from Storius's monster form.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What coat are you talking about?
The skirt kind of piece.
Okay, got it.
Because I know he had the Kingarian cape. Because I just remember back when Solomon was kind of new, and we were talking about how he uses nothing new.
This is a very small thing, but like this is actually one of those words where it's like I don't know which word to use to properly describe this article of clothing on this armor suit.
Yeah,
like I usually call it side skirt.
I would call it that. I would call it a coat. I would call it a cloak. But I have seen that very specifically. I've seen the word robe be used by Toei. And it's like, it's fine. If you're using that word, I'll use that word.
Yeah, that's what they want.
I still don't know if that's right. I mean, we're not going around calling the dude Gourd Drive. We call him Gold Drive.
You're right. Yeah. But also, it's not lobe, if that's where you're going.
Well, no, I'm just saying, because robe is not as descriptive as side skirt. Because when I think robe, I think you just got out of the shower and you want to dry off.
I wasn't necessarily referring to this one specifically, but just that kind of thing that you see on Wizard and Saber.
Sure.
Oh, I see we have Matt Hunt in the chat.
Hello, hey, Matt. What's up, Matt? That's another thing I'm going to task the two of you with. I can't see the chat, so you guys are going to need to stop me and do
Matt Hunt
chat
also chimes in and says waistcoat, I would think. Yeah,
waistcoat.
That makes sense. That makes sense, yeah. It's funny. Because you guys are right. Like, we see that kind of type of,
coat.
Yeah, we see that that all the time on rider suits, and I guess I never was really thinking of
exactly.
We call it
that. I'm pedantic enough to be like, what's the proper term for that?
Yeah.
Let's roll through some more of these images. I said, coat, but it appears that the actual side skirt, that one doesn't have the paint on the inside, which I don't know if that's accurate or not. The other ones are red enough to where I don't care.
Yeah.
Here he is just floating, and then Saber's just sort of looking like, bro, what you doing up there? Whoa. And so like I said, it is that same mold, so it does have the chronicle articulation. Here. Dang. Okay. I guess it's not. I guess the cape portion isn't here yet.
I really want when they do reveal Solomon, I want a whole trio shot.
Oh,
I really want that.
Yeah. So they just threw in a few photos of him next to the guys. And then also, like we've been saying, this is going to be a remolded Kashin, because obviously they can't use this old one. Like, the sticking point for us was that the head was way out of date.
It wasn't even out of date. It was just like, what happened to this head design?
Yeah.
What happened to this neck design? Because for people who don't know, you can kind of see it here. The neck was attached to the head, and it wasn't articulated.
Yeah.
It was just pegged into the torso.
Because I feel like that takes up less of a parts count, because with typical Soto figures, right, it's usually they make, the back and the chest, and then they put the back armor and the chest armor on. And then you can leave, there's enough plastic mass in there to create a neck and put a ball joint up.
Right.
And on top of that, our standard heads, they're made up of 3 different parts. But when you're sizing it down to a 1-box system, it's just going to be front, back for the chest and the back, and then maybe 2 parts for the head. Yeah. So I feel like that's how they sort of slimmed it down for Kashin.
Is this Storius' chest here, like on the ground?
Yeah. It's just showing you that, hey, we made the chest different as well.
Gotcha.
Which I love, because it's like, at this point, it almost feels like it's almost unnecessary that they're doing the arm thing.
Yeah.
Where's the butterfly joint? Because to me, that reads as we're just kind of making this consistent across all these figures, even though with 01, we sure didn't feel like we had to be consistent. But like as a result of it, because I mentioned this before, I was trying to make my own Soto style figure, and I incorporated that. And I wonder if they're also doing it because it's easier to mold, like make a mold out of.
Honestly, it could be. Like, because you don't have to worry so much about man, I don't know if what I'm saying is going to come from an informed place, but like maybe the tolerances are a little easier to handle on flat surfaces than they are on like a full round circle. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's is just speculation. But I mean, and really, it's like you're changing a hole a little bit. It's not doing too much. Like, it's an easy operation, I feel like, in the computer, and then once you get it committed to an actual mold, they mill it all out, and like, it's not too difficult. I can't imagine it'd be any more difficult than like just having a peg, right, or a peg hole.
You would think.
I would think. This is just speculation once again. So I don't know.
Regardless, they also did some other retooling. I don't know if we haven't really worked this slideshow format, so I was trying to transition into the thigh armor. But
okay. Well, I just put in sequentially what the images had for us. Something before we get there, something they did want to talk about was that, you know, since this is a brand new mold, they went in and like made it look a little more like armor. Like everything's there's like that red area. Yeah, it's a little more inset. So they took that.
Obviously, they had to change some things up about adding the whole driver and stuff to it. So
do you like that, Corey? Because I know when you saw Solomon, you were like, that suit doesn't look good. So hearing Soda describe it this way, it's like, we wanted to make this look more like armor.
I still think Kashin is I mean, look, the toy, good. The suit, the actual thing, no, not into it.
Which one do you think works better, Solomon or Storius?
I haven't. I need to see them side by side. Fair. Either way, like I don't like the lazily painted on stencils that they all typically get. It's not for me. Fair. So
okay, I was gonna say that it at least kind of tries to hide the fact that it's a recolor.
Sure. I don't know. It's like the lack of raised details. I know it's like a rush to the end, but like it doesn't look good.
For sure.
You're right.
Yeah. All right.
All this is doing is reminding me that I need to build my Kashin that I bought months ago.
That's true. The shoulder pads got a rather significant change. Because like on the old one, it was like, oh hey, we need to peg in a cloak here, and this one is just like, well, the cloak's not here, so we'll just put some shit there.
I can't remember. Was there any differences between the Geo and the 01 Kashins?
Paint, only paint.
Was it okay? Only paint. So which one do we see here? Did they say?
Something tells me this is the Geo one, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. I don't think it matters. Question mark?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm just curious which one.
Oh
yeah. The mold is the same.
Right. Okay.
Did we talk about on the podcast or whatever outside of the Discord? Did we ever talk about the fact that apparently there's two different versions of the Kashin suit that we didn't know?
I don't think we ever talked about that like actually on the podcast.
I don't even know where the photo came from, but it was just a group of them, and it definitely wasn't a cosplay because they were consistent.
Yeah.
And proportioned as suit actors were. It was like little bit details on the limbs, the torso that were all like slightly different.
Yeah, the Kashin that we know in Soto, I don't think that one's technically the army buildable one.
It's the one that appeared like when it was just the regular, just one-off one.
Yeah,
I guess.
Okay, interesting.
So
that's especially interesting due to the fact that they released him twice.
Yes,
you would think
exactly.
They would have done both versions.
It's so wild. I don't know. Maybe the intent was to make them all uniform, and then they just did not have the right materials to make the same one that many times. So they streamlined it the second time, and they were like, "Oh, well, this is better for just workflow. So we're just gonna do this."
Right.
Sorry, guys. I don't know.
Small Dream was asking if the shoulders were different between the two Kashin releases. Not really. But that did just make me realize from looking at this photo, it seems like Storius might be doing that thing that you didn't like about Kashin's figure with the shoulders.
I mean, we'll see. Like, I don't know if it's going to interfere.
The fact that it kind of has this soft click into place. It's just like, because of this particular photo, it's like, oh.
I mean, it could just be leaning up. Like, just
possibly
being held up by gravity. I hope it doesn't click that way, but we'll see.
Using conveniently hidden display stands to prop them up.
All right. So this is the whole chest situation. We also have more stuff on the neck, like we were talking about extensively. Brand new neck, tons more articulation here. Looks very good.
I just like this picture of like Kashin, like looking at him like, dude, you're breaking your neck. What are you doing?
He's just angry he can't do that with his neck.
Where's the front half of your neck?
So yeah, this is neat. Now we can finally get to the thighs, because Malunis, he's loving them thick thighs.
Yeah, they reworked them.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess. Okay, now I see why. It's because they incorporated the new way that they do thighs now.
Yeah, it's like that inset situation.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what is the benefit of that? Truly. Like,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Corey, could you switch to... is there another shot with the two of them side by side? Because someone pointed out, Mortal Wombat in the chat said, I didn't notice until a bit ago, but Storius is noticeably taller.
He is, like, you can see it a little bit more here.
Yeah.
That, like, his torso is a lot longer than the original Kashin.
There's the other shot where it seemed like the legs also might have been different.
Maybe.
I think they added a little bit more, like...
Might have been
right
above
the driver. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of everything, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, for sure.
I mean, here they are, I guess, like standing directly next to each other.
Yeah, it's a little hard to tell. Yeah.
Yeah, dude's
they're
got
not standing
antlers.
they're not standing like right foot to foot together.
Yeah.
I also see a little bit of how the back, the cape attaches, I think.
We do, yeah. So, like I said, King Durian stuff. It does a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get all sorts of pulses like this.
This is a good shot.
It is. I love it. It's a good cape.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. I believe that's it for Storius. So
I think so.
Very cool stuff.
Other than them not saying where he's releasing that, but that's the same for the next figure too.
So yeah, and G was talking about this as like summer homework, just stuff he needed to get done. So in that vein, let's talk about superhero Senki. Oh my god!
I swear, we're in the Discord. We do the thing we do every week where we're like, here's our prediction of what's going to happen this week. Mine was the most likely thing would be, as I keep saying, blurry image of two figures with saying Soto Kamen Rider Revise name pending coming soon.
Right, that's exactly what I was expecting.
But like the thing that I also added in was, here's a wild card prediction. We get figures from Saber that are going to appear in Revise.
Oh.
Hey, look, here's superhero Senki.
Yeah.
I may or may not have specified that it would be superhero Senki.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is a rather smart move. Now it's not confirmed that this is a Revice figure,
but it definitely is.
Yeah,
both of them definitely are.
Because remember when Saber started and we were like, "Oh man, there's Saber figures and there's blades and." Oh, we're back to 0-1 for a little bit. All right, cool. I'm glad we're getting it out of the way first.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be in the first whatever Revice.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Which is just fascinating to me that it makes it even more interesting to me that they're doing Storius before Solomon.
I don't understand. I mean, it could be a thing of like, hey, we want to make sure the final villain at the very least gets out.
Yeah, maybe. I could see it as being a situation where they were like, okay, we finished the 3D model of Solomon. Let's first move on to making the model of Storius and then make Storius first.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of like what is now, especially now that we have the Storius figure here. Like I'm trying to figure out like what would be holding Solomon up at this point.
It could be a situation where like they weren't actually able to fit the caliber head mold into the same thing. Yeah. So they were like, okay, well, if there's no way to separate that head from that mold, we could just do Storius now or something. I don't know. I have no idea. All speculation.
Matt Hunt in the chat also says, Candy Solicits put out Soto 3 for Revice today. We still don't know what 1 and 2 contains, though.
Oh.
But I guess I'm buying the first set for Senki.
Hell yes. Hell yes. I'm so glad. I can't wait for you to get your first Soto set. I'm very happy.
So, because they can fit, what, 6 figures in these now? When they do the full 12?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
So I'm just calling it now. I'm going to go with Revi and Vice, the 2 Saber forms we've seen here, and then probably the 2 Megalodon forms.
I agree. Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. Like, there's no real quick. Oh man, they got Matt Hunt on the superhero Senki thing, and then, well, you've basically started Soto Revice, so you might as well continue, my friend.
Welcome.
Just how the cookie crumbles. I look forward.
Enjoy your stay.
Yeah, you'll be here a while.
Hotel California.
It's a lovely place. But yeah, this is a lovely figure.
Matt just said, I hate Bandai.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to really say about this guy for these first few images. Outside of like,
I loved the picture. I don't remember if you've shown it yet or if you're going to show it at all. Where it had the Yudo Zenkaiser on the stairs.
You mean
that one? That was good.
Yeah, this is a good time.
Confirmed to have a Kanken Rekka in white. So there you go.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very interesting to me that
I just realized they had to put him on the stairs so you wouldn't notice the height difference between the 2 figures. I just realized that.
Yeah. It's really interesting to me that I guess the colors are just so different from figure to figure. Like you'd think they'd take the same red, the same gold paint, the same, but it's different. It's slightly different. It's less vibrant, but I guess that's Kamen Rider.
I'm gonna have to look up what the superhero Senki form actually looks like.
It's basically Draconic Knight mixed with Tokon Boost.
Well, I'm talking about like the way the red is.
Color wise.
Because like I wonder if it's just Tokon Boost color.
I was gonna say, is that just what they not paint? They took the black paint off and just kept what was there.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
We went with it.
Yeah,
very well could have been.
So there are some very clear images here that I really want to dissect a little later, but we move forward. We've got a good shot at the chest. The logo is molded in there. We also get a look at the stickers. They're not the best, but like, what are you gonna do?
They're not that you had to put it on there, but they're not making you do the thing they do with Zenkaiser, where they're like, "Here's a gold sticker to put over the gold emblem." Like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
They just did that on. I just built Mini-Pla Tukayo the other day, and they gave you like little gold stickers for the Shinkenger and O-Ranger symbols.
I mean, I will say because like
already cast in the gold plastic. I'm like, I don't need these.
So I mean, like it's fine then. Like it's basically just giving you options.
Oh,
if you don't mind it, you know.
Right. Right. Like I was totally good with just molded in the gold plastics. I just didn't.
That's
use
fair.
Stickers with it.
But also, we've got a pretty detailed sticker here for the belt.
It's not bad for how elaborate and busy that book is. That's not too bad.
Yeah, like it's tough to see when you're looking at it like right up close, but if you look far away, the details are there.
It's one of those like kind of semi-holographic stickers.
Yeah, I mean it's all printed on the metal foil sticker sheets.
That's
so
true.
It's all sort of like that. But I like it. This looks great. I'm stunned.
Yeah, no, it looks great for sure.
And then also, let's talk more molding because this reuses a lot. Yeah. So it's no surprise to any of us that this is a combination of Dragonic Knight and Tokan Boost. But unfortunately, it's another one of those situations where there's like too many new pieces, too many disparate parts from a bunch of old molds. Like here, it took the head and the feet of Dragonic Knight, and it took modified arms and modified legs from Falchion to make this. So basically, too many different parts all over the place. Our boy's a brand new mold. Oh man.
Also, yeah, I took a look at the physical suit. It definitely, in retrospect, looks like it is just like we took Token Boost, rubbed off the black parts, and added some white.
Fair.
Is it a different shade of red like this seems to be?
I mean, it could be. That's what I'm getting at. Is that that might be why there's a difference.
Yeah. But yeah, like they to their credit, they went the extra mile and made sure to put the molded flame details in here. Like,
I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah. But yeah, like we've said. I almost forgot. Sometimes the slides surprise me. That's not the only thing they revealed.
I will tell you. When it comes to the slides, how is it organizing them by alphabetical order?
No, I put them in manually by order of the blog.
The blog,
That's good because a thing that I noticed from like putting these files in a folder is that sometimes the numbering on them is out of order from when they're revealed.
Right. Because sometimes they're JPEGs, sometimes they're modified PNGs, and then those numbers get all
Oh, that might be why it is different.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
why is this bone zone here?
Let me tell you, because like he's not having a good day.
Well, I can finally say, go back.
Oh,
I am happy that did they give you a new hand for him to hold it underhanded?
Nope. No, they don't.
Okay.
You're not happy.
Yeah. I'm not happy. No longer happy.
Speaking of new hands,
he's
new hand.
His tummy hurts. Is there something? There's something going on. Oh shit! Oh no! What is this?
Magic hand.
Yeah.
This. Oh god! Like. This is another one of those. Oh, we're scratching the itch things.
Yeah, because it's a hand.
Yeah. This is a time. I did look.
So this is one of those things where, since I have not watched Saber since episode 12, I don't think I knew about this, but I'm sure it happened.
Yeah. Arm comes out of belt. What more do you need to know?
From the reactions in our Discord, the joke reactions, it sounds like oh, don't you remember when this happened? Seemed to be the tone of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, this happened more times than the blue, completely clear water form of
Fair.
blades. So,
yes, that is true.
and this takes up less plastic. So,
Sure.
on top of that, it's articulated. It's got a lot of balls to it. So you can move this around. It's even got a little display stand mounting point.
Mortal Wombat is also very ambitious, saying, "Okay, here's the thing. With Primitive's Grabby Hand, I fully expect an accessory set. Obviously, we still need Durandal's Trident."
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean,
I didn't really consider where this would be.
We got Storius a lot quicker than we thought we would.
You know what they can include in the accessory set if they really don't want to bother? Because, hey, look, realizing Hopper isn't here.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
All I'm saying is they could easily just like make a variation of a driver.
I want a full figure.
I'm not talking about realizing Hopper when I'm talking about this, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Are we talking about Saber's form? Yeah, okay.
What?
That's been a thing for a while.
Yeah, I guess this is a Reiwa tradition at this point. Saber got a new form for the finale where he uses that new book that has all the books on it.
Yeah.
And what form do you think that creates?
Well, let me tell you, it looks familiar.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But it's
you might have seen this form before the show started in all the promotional material.
It's called Kamen Rider Almighty Saber. So that's really disappointing that they wasted that name on that form, but still.
I agree. Yeah.
It's also kind of unfortunate that they wasted that future premium Bandai toy on that form.
So basically, what I'm getting at is, unfortunately, realizing Hopper seems like a thing that they are just kind of not bothering with. So if they really wanted to, they could be like, all right, let's just toss an extra driver into this accessory set. There, we did it.
That's all you would literally have to do is just and I guarantee you that they're going to do it eventually.
Unfortunately, unlike realizing Hopper, there is more of a visual change there with the belts.
Right.
So it's like, okay. I guess they have a reason to make this one.
Sure.
Although they also would probably have to make it because I believe Blades and Espada also had new books in their belts.
Well, really?
At least,
I've seen it's the thing that they do on the blog where they show photos from the next episode. So and those photos don't have CGI stuff going on in them, so who knows what's going to happen.
Okay,
but it looks like Espada was using his golden Espada form, but you notice that he has Kenzan's book in one of the slots.
Kenzan's book's in the final slot for
some
some reason.
I'm assuming. So. Here's my prediction of what's going to happen. The episode's out there, so maybe people already know.
Yeah, this is the one that just aired tonight. So
my prediction is that he's going to have some sort of glowy slash attack, and that's probably all that's going to happen.
Probably.
Yeah,
he's gonna insert it for a finisher, and then it's a finisher that's reminiscent of Kenzan's attacks.
So I guess it wouldn't surprise me if they threw like all these different slight belt variations into some box together.
Or they could give us clear yellow version of Espada.
That's
clear
true.
Red version of Saber.
So they're like
that a thing.
So you're talking like that. Oh, okay. No, I get what you're saying. I thought you were saying like if that's like star pattern one or glittery.
Oh no! I get the ship has sailed with the glitter pattern.
Okay, because I thought that you were saying like they could say like, well, we told you we're not going to release it like this in blue. Doesn't mean we can't make it in yellow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, that is, I think, this whole situation. And like I said, this is book 10, and they are not present in it. So,
where could they be?
What could I mean?
It's a mystery.
Stoto Saber book 11 featuring.
I thought for like, could you imagine if they were just like, surprise? This is 16 boxes. No one.
We lied to the retailers.
It's like, hey, good news. You got a deal.
That's true. Yeah. But there's something I wanted to touch on with Senki. Now that we've wrapped up full coverage.
I like when you were going through the slides and the hand was just retracting back.
Take a look at this chest. Tell me what you notice.
A ball joint.
Wait,
or
really?
some kind of joint. I mean,
Well,
it looks like it divides up there.
What I'm thinking is that you could take the chest armor off. What would be the point of that?
Chest armor off?
To do the thing that all soda figures do, Corey.
Well, also, potentially, you could put a different chest on there and make it a different bowl.
I see what you're saying now. Okay, I see the...
Yeah, the possibilities are there.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't know. My theory is still alive. I feel like we're getting mainline Ghost at any time. No, it'll happen. Mainline Ghost is happening.
We will get Saber's Ghost form and Blade's Spectre form, and they will call it a day there.
I do wonder
where they are.
Yeah.
Why they have not been mentioned at all.
Yeah. I wonder if perhaps
I'm right there with you on that. I'm a little afraid about their fate. I mean, I feel like Soto's gonna do it.
Yeah,
but it's also like, as was, I'm gonna just scroll up and make sure I actually credit them. There were two different people asking it, like, don't
worry about it.
Mortal Wombat asking, at least unlike 01, Saber doesn't have too much to catch up on, like 5 figures max.
Yeah.
True.
So, but also, in our own Discord, Kielia had like tried coming up with a list of things, and hey, a couple of those things are already revealed in this blog.
Nice.
So that from what they could figure out, that left the ghost form.
I've been seeing people in our chat saying about the sages that Storius brought with him.
What?
They were like, they're not riders.
I know.
Yeah.
But why?
I mean, it wouldn't be. I feel like if they did the sages, because I think they are slightly different, or at least their weapons are different. Something. I feel like if they did those in the revised line, that'd be like the equivalent of like when we got the Battle Raider this year.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I wouldn't say it's impossible, especially because since we're getting Storius and Revice's line, it'd be kind of nice to get them to go with him. But
it would be wild and definitely wouldn't happen at all. Is because the sages, if I'm remembering right, I think I saw them in the magazines one time. It was a bunch of dudes in robes.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think if I remember correctly,
introducing the first Soto figure that has cloth goods. Where it's just like a face figure with a robe.
I think they're more likely to just mold a like two shells of a thing.
You right.
Together for the torso and the legs and stuff.
It's like the Shoto Great Leader.
Yeah.
Where it's like we got a figure that has a really good budget in this wave, and then there's this.
You get what amounts to a statue that you can switch the head of.
I was just thinking here, I think the sages actually technically have connections to both of these two characters. Because obviously with Storius, they're like his like little army or whatever. But
sure.
I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct on this, but I thought I saw somewhere that I think the sages, at least their suits, actually first appeared in Superhero Senki, and then they were repurposed for Saber.
Oh.
I don't know if they're supposed to be the same characters or not, because I don't really know a lot about Superhero Senki.
That's fair.
But, and also I'm only like 10% of the way keeping up with what Saber is doing.
Sure.
But yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Matt Hunt says that they're the Guardians of the Tower, which I'm assuming is like the tower that we saw at the end of the Sabers and Kaiger crossover that led into the movie.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just like he said, not the same characters, but the same suits.
Okay.
It's one of those. Okay.
It's one of those, yeah.
Suits is a generous term for just some robes, but yeah, okay.
Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Mortal Wombat also had said, furthering my accessory set delusions, clear red version of the Kanken Rekka, a driver
cool.
with the Wonder Almighty, so that's just what I was talking about before, what they could do for that saber form, and a driver for Espada with Kenzan's book. I mean, that seems like it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for them to do in their budget, but it's bold of you to assume it's going to be more than just a sticker. Because all that you need to do is just buy a new version of Golden Alangine, and hey, here's a sticker for that. Also, it seems like from Small Dream, yes, exactly what I predicted, is that Espada and Kenzan switch books just to do a finisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Now let's see. Actually, the Tower Guardians would make a good standard suit for the Saints since you're just added scars in the... Oh. I didn't know. I did not know they saw combat.
If they're actually called Tower Guardians, hey, that's how we got Guardians and Saber.
I'll take it.
Now you gotta buy them.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's Soto. I gotta buy it all anyway.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But see, I actually enjoy a lot of my figures.
That's true. Yeah, you don't just buy random posters yesterday because they have the logo on them.
Okay, fair.
Do we have anything else?
I wanted to mention that we ran a poll.
Hello.
Spelled Paul.
Paul?
Yeah. We ran one of those before the blog happened.
I voted for the wrong choice.
So we put up a poll asking, with Soto Saber fully revealed last week, what do you think we'll be seeing today? Soto, Revi, and Vice, a surprise Saber figure, or wild card? I should have put an option for all of the above, but I guess that didn't happen either. So 50.9% of you voted for Soto, Revi, and Vice. Sucks to suck, but I was also one of the ones that did that.
I am also one of the ones that did that as well.
Yes.
To specify, I never thought they were going to do the full reveal. I just was expecting the teaser reveal.
That's fair. And then the wild card got 13.2, which, fair. It's Soto.
Is this technically a wild card?
I feel like the hand might have been technically a wild card.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah. Because I was not expecting it at all.
So I was right.
I didn't know it existed.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I would have expected it. I mean, I guess because Storius and Senki, I always knew that they would get around to. I guess I didn't expect them tonight, but
yeah. And then 35.8% of you voted for a surprise Saber figure, and we are here.
There you go.
Congrats to the 35.8% of you. You don't get a prize outside of bragging rights.
I'll also say what I had written in the Discord earlier was I expect them to mainly give us a tease for Soto Revice, and we'll find out more at a later date. That's all I can really imagine. Maybe if we're lucky, Shoto O stuff. And then I added wild prediction: Superhero Senki is the first Soto Revice reveal.
Close.
Exactly.
Yeah. Close. Very close.
You're pretty close. So I guess I never even thought about like when they would appear in Revice's line, other than just that they would.
Yeah.
So
I knew it would be wave one, like for some sort of crossover, but I didn't think it'd be the first thing they'd reveal.
Yeah, but my thing was that, immediately my thought is, well, chronologically, this appeared first, so this would be the first thing they do. But like, I guess it would prioritize it because, hey, Storius is here. That's all.
Also, Matt Hunt is saying if last year's any indication, we should get the first Revice Soto set shown off in the magazines at the end of the week of next week. So it makes sense for these to be in that. I will also say that last year they did give us a small there was 1 week where it was like, hey, Soto Saber, one image, bye guys, and that
right.
was it. So
Right.
They
maybe
did,
that's
some-
next week, but they were
Well, because they
I don't
haven't
know.
done the typical like year in review thing yet.
they
Yeah,
haven't
that's-
been doing that for
Yeah,
Did they not do that?
That came
Last
up in the Discord where it was brought up that, oh yeah, they usually do that. And I had mentioned that I remember having to do that myself for Geo. So I think that
Okay.
might be where they stopped doing that.
probably.
Because I mean, I'm wondering. Because I mean, even though Saber technically had its finale tonight, there is one more little special episode
Yeah,
next week
it's-
before Revice starts.
Oh, okay.
No, not a spoiler. Basically,
Yeah.
hey, next week it's going to be a crossover.
It's very similar to the Drive situation of ending.
Or Ghost
and
kinda
Ghost,
pops up.
yeah, Ghost as well.
What?
Because
Yeah, those shows ended with a
Yeah.
bonus episode after the finale.
Who did they cross over with?
The next,
the next show,
Oh,
yeah,
I
Yeah,
didn't
like,
even
they-
know
they
they
were-
did that.
Yeah.
Ghost
Huh.
had an episode at the end where like they were fighting some bad guys, and then Gem just shows up on his bike and just like kicks their ass.
Oh, so that's what that's from.
It's
Okay.
kind
Yeah.
of like how, and they kind of did it again in X-Aid, sort of, where Build had like a little cameo and like one towards the end, but it wasn't like exactly like what they did with the other two shows.
Oh, Matt Hunt's also saying, outside of solicits, I haven't seen any sites even listing the revised Soto under Kamen Rider toys. Just, I assume that's Shoto X and Shoto
Yeah.
O. But
Soto,
what Soto's
Return of the
been,
other writers.
what Soto has done a great job at, and I think what Candy Toy has really been doing good with is like, hey, we're going to give you like this preliminary information just to put the listing up, but we're going to withhold the information of the title and all that stuff and even some images
Yeah, they're really
for
good.
us
at
to reveal it.
Especially,
Yeah,
they're
really
also
good.
really good with keeping the lineup secret on the
Yes.
on the Candy website with all the promo images, because
Mhm.
they update the listing with whatever has been revealed of the set so far.
Yes.
But don't spoil the rest. The only times the rest get spoiled is when Telebukun leaks out early and we see the
Yeah.
pictures of the whole way. That has happened a couple
To be
of
fair,
times.
It has.
To be fair, that also isn't Television's fault.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not their fault. No.
See,
But,
like,
Um,
part
I
of me
will- I
can't
also-
tell. Part of me
also
can't
bring-
tell if Candy Toy is running such a tight ship, or if just not enough people are even looking in the direction of Candy Toy to
Maybe.
even look for any of that stuff.
Yeah, because like I remember the other day, or this is actually a couple weeks ago at this point, but I was on the Candy blog site. I think I was looking for, or not the blog, the calendar site. I think
Yeah.
I was looking to see like when Sentai Gears 4 came out or something, and
Mhm.
I saw book 10 listed there, and it only had the Disaster and All Clear Blades figure shown, and I'm like, yeah, good, because we haven't seen the rest of it yet. So
Right,
we don't know- we don't know what it is. So.
I'll also say when it comes to like, I don't know if Matt Hunt was talking solicits as in like pre-orders, but
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking
sometimes
about.
we've had even when it's not the first wave, we've had a wave or two where it would be just labeled as new boys toy 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out, oh, that's a soda wave. Turns out.
Haven't we? I might be misremembering this, but haven't there been a couple times where we have seen in listings where it like said featuring something before we knew that it was going to feature something?
I don't.
I remember a specific one where it was the placeholder title I just mentioned, and it turns out that was a featuring wave. And I think we were latching onto that at one point.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm.
Yeah, Matt had also confirming that's what he's referring to, and also
Okay.
that's the one, new boys toy.
That's
New boys toy.
So
I'm still hoping that Revises is called Stamps. I think that would be a fun name for each.
Mhm.
it's not going to be anything that we
The
I
think.
know.
final episode.
I know it's
one,
not going to be anything that we
I
think.
don't-
Like the vinyls, they're called Genome, which like
Yeah.
where's that
Well,
from?
that's the name of the forms, like Rex Genome.
Oh, is that so? Okay,
It
all right,
is.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
it is.
That's fair.
It is.
Because I
Um,
hadn't seen that fly around.
Oh, yeah,
Blade Raiders, right?
I-
Yeah.
That's true. You're right. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Sentai blog hasn't shown off all of Yudo,
It's
but the
so
pre-orders
strange
have full images
because
of
they've
everything.
teased the only figure that they haven't teased yet is, I think. Wait, have they teased everyone? I guess they haven't teased officially the Oren and Shinken forms yet.
That's true.
And
Well,
the-
they haven't teased the red one.
Oh, that's right.
Red guy. Yeah.
The red one is exactly
Red guy.
It's Senki. It's just Senki Red.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
And then the I can't think of their name. The like troopers.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying.
They always have weird names.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not as memorable as Hengeman
That's true.
from Dino Fury.
From Dino Fury, yeah.
Oh.
I guess they were not memorable because Corey had no idea what you were talking
I
about.
don't remember much of anything. So, Kudax.
Kudax, yeah.
Kudax. Yeah.
Right. And also, because people were joking about it, we can already predict what the final episode form for Revice is going to be. I've got a pretty good one, I'm going to tell you. So you know how it's two writers, they're Revi and Vice. What they're going to do is they're going to give him a Vice stamp that's based on Vice, and he transforms into Revi, but they call it Kamen Rider Revice.
It's like
it's just a singular character named Revice instead of Revi.
Right. I feel like it's definitely like almost a guarantee that there'll be a Kamen Rider Revice at some point, whether that's the final form or it's like you said, the final episode form.
I mean, technically, like the Analingosaurus and all the other combinations, they are technically combined already.
Also,
they are Revice.
I just realized. Also, the other thing you could do for that final episode, it's Revi, but he's wearing Vice's scarf and hat.
No. What are you talking about? It's just going to be Revice's base form, or Revi and Vice's base forms. It's not going to be different. It's just going to be their base forms. Brand new belt situation.
No. It's going to be different. They're going to have a brand new stamp, Corey, that they can stamp. And it's going to make all the difference.
You know what? Take what I said, but that's the Televikun form.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'll take that.
He's wearing a black version of the head and scarf.
What my question right now is, what do we think the December set for Saber is going to have in terms of Soto figures? What I'm afraid of happening. No, for Saber.
For Saber.
Last time they did the 0-1 shooting.
Oh, right.
What I'm afraid of is that they're going to throw the ghost one in there.
My theory... I could just be wrong. I'm wondering if the ghost forms are being... I know there's been people who are hoping for an Espada Necron thing, but we haven't had any indication of there being a Espada Necron thing.
No, you know what? I think that's still happening because they if you haven't seen part 2, they literally end with the villain reveal, and it's like a big guest star. So it's like, okay, there's a part 3.
I know they did that, but like we still haven't heard like any indication of them doing like another TTFC announcement.
It might happen around the time the toys actually hit
possibly
mailboxes,
or if they're waiting for Yodana 2 to come out before they announce the next.
I forget where I said this, but I brought this up before. You remember when 0-1 started that series of little chibi animations on TTFC?
Yeah.
They were still releasing those during Saber.
Oh,
okay.
So that to me sets a precedent for we're okay with like overlapping.
I mean, unless actually, because like a lot of times, a lot of times for Xaid and for Build and for Geo, the Soto figure included in the gimmick item included in the box had something to do with a like right after show Hyper Battle DVD.
Oh,
so I wonder if. Either we could just have something like that. We haven't seen what the special will be yet, or maybe it will be an Espada Necron thing that is the set theme here, and then the gimmick item is a Necron book or something for Espada, and then it's then the figure is like what Espada's form or one of any of the ghost forms or something.
I mean that's true because we, typically it's. That end of year set is about the main rider, but Builds was just rogues. It's
Geo's was Gates.
That's true. Yeah. So it could definitely end up being not even Saber related.
Right. I guess we've had 4 of these boxes, right? And 2 of them have been for the main rider, and 2 of them haven't. So I guess it's really, what's gonna be the tiebreaker here?
I feel like the only reason 01s was so different was because, COVID. They couldn't even film another extra thing.
Right.
So it's just a matter of like, what are they able to film?
Still so disappointing. I mean, I'm glad we got the Shooting Wolf 01, but like, there's so many other cooler ones of those concept art forms. I wish we would have gotten.
I was bringing up in our Discord earlier on that subject. I had forgotten that, hey, we haven't really had mainline premium Bandai stuff in a long while because they specifically said they would stop doing it. But like, I could see them handling that the way they did the OCSM forms, where they're like, here's 01 in Rushing Cheetah on its own. You know what to do. Wink. It's like, then it gets enough pre-orders and they're like, here's 17 box sets.
It'd be cool. God. I just think that
I think there's like a dozen forms, so you could probably split that up pretty easy.
I mean, hey, if they can pull that off, then where are my Another Riders?
Yeah,
because like
when Matt Hunt said Soto, I was like, there it is. There's the Other Riders.
Just like what? I wanted all of those.
It's never happening.
I know it's not happening. I'm still really thankful that they went back into 01 and Decade last year.
Yes,
they would go that far. Doesn't mean I don't want more though.
I agree.
You're right.
I will say that if I had to choose between having those toys and not having those toys, I'd choose having them every time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But feasibility, man, it's not happening.
No, I totally get it. I totally get why they didn't finish them, but it's just like I love the idea and the concept of those and the suits. I mean, I love the Another Riders so much.
They look good,
and
yeah. In my mind, they are technically those powers in a different form, like filtered through a different power set. So,
even in show they basically are. So
yeah.
Mortal Wombat brings up something. I don't know if this would have enough pull for the memorial box that we're talking about, but I forgot that there are like technically concept art forms. Like
there are.
Yeah.
But who would you choose?
That's the thing is that the example they gave was like Saber with Kenzon's book or Slash's book, and I'm like, which one's the popular one?
I think the problem with that is that with the 01 forms, you really couldn't choose between like, for example, like the Rising Hopper, they did obviously that's 01's form, but then they did that. The only time they did a concept art that was for Another Rider was when they showed a Vulcan using Rising Hopper.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like, they didn't let you pick a key and let you see what like all of them could use it on.
Mm-hmm.
With this concept form thing, you can kind of like swap books between the riders and stuff. So you just have so many possibilities that there's not really any kind of like distinct concept art forms.
Yeah. There's no definitive one to latch onto and say, hey, this is like, if you were to choose one of them for a thumbnail, it would be hard to choose one.
Right.
But if you chose one of them for a thumbnail to represent concept forms, Shooting Wolf is a good one to like really zone in.
Yeah.
So like,
it's weird because it's like, I guess if you can't choose, I guess a really good throwaway one would just be here's Saber, Blades, and Espada's forms together with the unique head.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
the
guess,
thing is,
like they already
if there's
kind
literally
of do that with featuring Saber.
That's the plan B if you can't think of anything.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I don't know. Because like I also feel like
if I had a pick, they would do the concept form that I wish actually happened in the show, which was Espada with the Caliber arm. I always thought that looked really cool.
And also I was saying like, who do you choose? Who's popular? And I just realized, what sucks is that I know a lot of people really like Psycho, but they never did a what if form for Saber using Psycho's book.
No, I know what if forms you do. Oh. You do those other random books from the toy line that they designed arms for.
Yeah.
They didn't actually make suits for.
Yeah. But which one?
A lot. There's a lot of them.
I don't know which one you would pick, but I mean, like they did a bunch of them. The books showed up in the series, but they were never used in the belts. Okay. But the package for them, kind of like basically just like the build forms.
Sure.
Where the package had what the form would look like, but it never happened.
Yeah. That's another situation where I feel like there are too many options, and they would just not opt for that one.
I mean, it's just a bunch of arms.
Yeah, I could have sworn that we might have had this sort of discussion with the 0-1 forms where like there's just too many options.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. I don't think they give you just a bunch of arms. It's like, hey, this is the
know.
end of year
Yeah.
thing. Like, even if you're not a Soto collector, you're gonna get a Soto figure, like a slice of that experience.
I mean,
if you're not a DX collector, there's a slice of that experience.
You're right. It's always going to be one complete figure, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
So it's going to be Saber in his ghost form, unfortunately.
I mean, I don't know if it would be.
There-
I feel like they're gonna
silence.
want. I just feel like they're gonna want to group them together, maybe. But
Unless, of course, they break the cycle and eventually just do 2 and do Saber and Blades.
Where's the spot?
I mean,
don't ask.
what if? I mean, like I had said earlier, like, what if they do an Espada Necrom thing? Because I mean, the only gimmick item they would have to release would be a Necrom book, because like for the first special, the Ghost book already existed in the toy line.
Yeah.
For the second special, they released the Spectre book on Spectre book.
Jesus.
Spectre book on Premium Bandai but then they threw in the canon icon.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that kind of made sense. But like for a third special, you'd only need to do, unless you gave Necrom a new form, which I mean, hey, I've always wanted him to get a moving type form, so I would love that. But if you didn't do that and you just gave Espada a book, that could be your singular gimmick item. Maybe they cut back on some of the other stuff and they do the whole trio in a box with that. I'm not saying that they would, but they cut the photo book out or something.
That's the most logical one, actually.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I think that would make sense. I mean, you could still have some like fun little gimmick stuff in there for the box, but like maybe take something out.
What if none of that? And then it was just a canon box in December. And then we got a canon Soto figure.
Hey, that'd be cool. I love that suit so
It would
much.
never happen.
It comes with a really unfortunate photo book where it's her in all those different costumes. And that.
See, the problem with that idea
And then
is
he
what would... Yes.
Yeah.
The problem with that idea is what would the gimmick item be? Because they're already releasing her icon.
Yeah. Circling back, what Power Ranger says, there could just be a new Hyper Battle video.
There could, that could have nothing to do with Ghost or Necrom.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That could give Saber a new arm, and then they just release Saber with a new arm or something like that.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what comes out of that, because typically we have a good idea of what's going on, but because like I feel like at this point for Geo, we sort of knew it was gonna be
you mean like this at the end of the line kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because at this point, we are in a similar situation because they had already shown us Tsukiyomi slightly.
Blade Raider nailed it. He said, "No, Saber's final episode form will be the memorial box. Just needs a different driver." That's the Brave Dragon with the book.
The memorial box is what we've been talking about for like the last 10 minutes.
Memorial box.
That's literally where the figure and item stuff comes in. That's what it's called.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were saying the gimmick item is going to be called the memorial box.
Oh, no.
I didn't. Oh, well, that makes me upset that Realizing Hopper never made it in.
That's true.
You're right.
Well, because Realizing Hopper is such a stupid form.
I love it. I need it. Also, this is very funny. I'm not trying to throw shade, but someone just referred to you as Toku Topics, and that is a very strange thing.
Hey, Toku Topics, how's the dorm?
Hello, every Toku Topic there is, distilled into a single human being.
Something about that wording has the tone of a bully. Hey, Toku Topics, how's the dorm?
Josh is about to get a swirly.
But no, thank you for asking. It's nice. It's nice to be back up here after like 16 months or something.
Jesus.
Since I was kicked out during the pandemic started, so it's nice to be back up here for my junior year. I haven't been up here since freshman year, so it's nice to be back. Classes start on Monday, so just settling in this weekend.
Hell yeah.
It's
nice.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. Realizing Hopper will be retail. I agree.
Realizing Hopper will never happen. It literally just needs to be a sticker. At this
That's what
point,
I've been saying.
at this point, you just got to make it yourself and call it a day, Corey.
I want them to mention it at all. I would like any
the problem is they had the perfect time to tease it and then release it, and they never did it. Like,
we've pointed out at least 2 different occasions where like, hey, they used Realizing Hopper in this photo, but they have him like facing from the back.
exactly right.
Could that mean
just
something?
because just because you set up a good photo op
Well, no.
for that
Well,
form
because
doesn't
they've
mean-
They've
What
done
I'm
this
getting
before.
at is that we've had 2 different occasions where we thought that they were gearing up to tease a Realizing Hopper because we're like, hey, it looks like they conveniently cropped out the belt. I wonder what that could mean. And then nothing ever happens.
It was back when they revealed Arc Scorpion for Hirobi for book 5 or 6, whichever one it was.
I feel like it was at least 2 different occasions where we latched onto that.
You're right. Like, but I mean, like the one I remember distinctively was like, because it was the picture of the Rising Hopper figure fighting Arc Scorpion, and I was like, they're very cleverly not showing you like the front of this figure. I'm like, I wonder what that's about, and then it ended up being nothing.
Oh,
But like, it made me think of like, they've done teas like that before, or like when they put Kuga's bike. I think it was Kuga, like in the background, and we didn't even notice it the first.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I look like an absolute fool.
We all did.
And then once you pointed it out, it was like so obvious.
Yeah.
If a display stand sticker and nothing else is like a 1 out of 10, then Mortal Wombat just gave us a 3 out of 10, which is Realizing Hopper, but it's just another Progress Key holding hand included in a set.
I mean, but like, you still need the sticker stand for the stand. Like, you need it.
Hey,
you need a sticker that says Realizing Hopper.
Literally, since we've been waiting for Arc Scorpion, I've been saying that. Yeah, that's all you need to do. Just include that with Arc Scorpion.
Blade Raider, I like that idea. Or the 02 Izu and the Calibra Sophia 2-pack.
Technically, that'd be a 4-pack, right?
I guess technically.
2 boxes each. But I think we have at least one more opportunity when the 01 Others movie comes out.
Oh, yeah, it's like the final.
That's my last hope on getting that Realizing Hopper.
Yeah. Display stand sticker hand. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
But I also would like to maybe see them branch back out into like a not EX but like plus situation for because it's another anniversary year. I feel like there might be some pull there. Maybe they reeled back on it because of the pandemic, and now they're like, maybe we'll venture back out.
Are you talking about the Daisoto?
No, I'm talking about
just like
Ride Plus.
Wave.
Yeah, Ride Plus waves. Yeah. I think Daisoto is just done because they've said on multiple occasions like this is as good as the figure is going to get. We have dialed it in so well.
I mean, we're at the point where like, the figures look great. They upgrade them throughout the year with so many random accessory pieces for past figures. So by the end of it, it's like, what else could you? I mean, it's like last year when like we were getting things like the bottom of 01's shoe.
Yeah,
and it was like, I think we've got this. I think we're
and like with Geo, it was like, hey, you guys like light piping?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have whenever we're done, I do have a thing that I want to read from the end of the blog post.
Why don't you give us that right now? Because it is already an hour and 8 minutes in. So
let's do it.
So they in relation to Primitive Dragon's magic hand, as I'm going to call it, they toss out a term that they've definitely tossed out almost since the beginning of Soto, which is a Japanese phrase that doesn't translate well into English, or maybe it does, which is scratching a place that doesn't itch, which is a term that it refers to basically just being like, here's an attention to detail that you probably didn't even ask for.
Yeah.
And they use that to refer to all these kind of things, and then said the hand that jumps out of the book is probably the same. Willingness to scratch with hands in both name and reality. And where is it? They mentioned something else. That is the art of Soto.
Yes, I agree. Soto is the obscure.
Absolutely.
That's
it
where
always
we
has
get
been,
the best stuff.
and that's what's always made it such a really fascinating and fun toy line.
Yeah, that's why I love this last.
I mean,
wave,
I can't even imagine the amount of figures at this point that we've had over the last 5 years that will probably forever be the only figures that exist of those forms or characters.
Yeah, for real.
So,
like, when will we ever get another Riders anywhere else? That's never
absolutely.
happening.
And like you were starting to say there, book 10, pretty much the entirety of the entirety of book 10 is figures that they would never.
It has the villains in the bike, and I feel like the bike could have been earlier. Like that would have been
okay. Actually, I guess the bike.
Yeah.
It has a bunch of obscure stuff, but book 10 proves that they're,
The way I've been describing this last wave, is that. Whoa.
Sorry, got a call from my grandma. I'll call her back later.
Fair. The way I've been describing this last wave to like friends who don't really collect this stuff is this is the point where they're like, well, we're more or less caught up. What do the fans want?
Yeah, and like I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the one guy that's getting Chris. Chris is always like poo-pooing on it and being like, "Why do we need this? Can we just move on?"
Ideas.
Yeah,
we see someone asked for it.
Yeah,
a lot of someone's.
I feel like maybe just the one loud person is tainting my head on this, but I will stand up for this. This is what Soto is about. I'm so happy that all the obscure stuff comes here.
Yes, I'm right there with you in the chat. Super Plastics. I am really, really waiting for Kamuro, Mars, Jam, and Suika Arms. Kamuro is one of my favorite rider suits ever, as it is. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So
it's not even Gaim's anniversary here yet.
I mean, we're getting close now to it being 9 years since.
You realize that when they start releasing something, they won't stop for quite a while. It will happen. It will hit your wallet, and it will hit your wallet hard.
Yes.
You know what?
Do you want that right now?
Corey, you're saying that as I'm thinking about Shoto doing Forze and Wizard. I'm like, hell yes, I want them to do that. Right now. Common Rider Mage, bring it. This is the only time.
I'm good with that.
It's gonna be, I mean, I'm scared for my wallet.
That would be a good pick for Shoto, though.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Because, like, hey, you're talking about Gaim almost being 9 years old. This Shoto X wave is in time for Forze and Wizard's anniversaries.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that it's just Wizard, it actually did kind of give me this moment where I was like, oh no, is Wizard like Ghost? Is he not popular enough for it? And I actually asked a friend, like, what's the vibe on Wizard in Japan? And he said, he's pretty, I think middle of the road is the way he described it.
Okay.
But like the fact that it's just Wizard here just makes me go, y'all are saving something for Shoto, aren't you? Because there's not many villains from Forze outside the Zodiarts.
Well, like, so we didn't get a chance to talk about this on a platform that will be out and available anytime soon. But Wizard, it's something that I was happy about in the moment, and then you realize, oh wait, he's not getting his bike, or at least not yet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's and Beast. No.
Where is he at?
No.
Yeah.
So that's another one of those where, like, I guess we either
it's
wait
like I said
hope for premium, or we're just gonna get left in the dust, like with Kamen Rider Kabuto stuff.
I've been saying several times, and I feel like I've said several times in the Discord recently, just with this reveal, this is the perfect time for Shoto to just be like, here's the subline where all the allies are located. Like, here's Gatak, here's
Shoto A,
here's Beast.
Yeah.
They should do Shoto A.
And it's because we say it every single time. It's like they always have this opportunity. If they haven't taken it yet, it's
know what?
probably because they're putting their resources into something
Possibly,
else.
but also the fact that we in the Discord keep agreeing with each other. The fact that we all just keep saying Shoto A, that to me just says like we're onto something that I'm sure people in the surveys are also thinking.
Blade Raider brings up a good point in the chat, though. Wizard's Bike is kind of boring without the dragon because they can't combine. Maybe that would be a premium release.
Yeah,
It's like with the whole dragon, because obviously you wouldn't put the whole dragon into the show. That would take up like all of the boxes.
I wonder, did the actual DX one, that one actually fit the Wizard Action Please figures, right?
I
don't
think so. You mean
you would?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it did because it was that toy line's equivalent.
You this question.
I get, but I have a feeling because that's when they were making more of an effort to like unify everything.
I mean, are you talking about like the deluxe?
Yeah,
bike toy?
DX bike fits with the DX figures.
The same way that the double one.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure because like that was that toy line's equivalent of like the Suika arms from Gaim or the Trideron.
Right. But doubles never fit together.
That's true, but
it was
doubles,
only.
Did it? It didn't come with a double figure, did it?
It did. It came with like a static.
Well, that's probably why, because like that one actually had a little figure with it, and the other ones don't. So, I mean, like Triderons was kind of iffy because it was just one big car seat. When that's definitely not how the Trideron was structured.
Yeah,
that's a Batmobile.
It's too small for Drive's DX figure and too big for Drive's Candy.
It's
slightly too big.
Yeah, the problem is like the best Trideron they ever made was the Figure Arts one, but that's like $300, which I get it.
Yeah,
I get why, but like, it's a shame.
All right.
Blade Raider said exactly what I hope, and I'm getting my hopes up for it, which is that Wizard's the only Wizard content in Shoto X, because Shoto O is where all the unreleased stuff goes. Kamen Rider Mage, Kamen Rider Sorcerer. I mean, Mage would
be. I mean, they can get 3 uses at least.
Exactly.
Out of that Mage build, so.
What I fear is a Gattack situation where we get Kabuto, then we get Dark Kabuto, because like of course.
Did they?
And then
did they do Dark? They did Dark Kabuto.
They did Dark Kabuto,
okay,
and then Kick and Punch Hopper, and then Kick and Punch Hopper. That's it.
Although if they ever do Gattack, I really want Gattack Hyper because Hyper Battle DVDs never get enough love.
Yeah, I agree, and I would like everybody considers that his final form.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I mean, then again, unless of course
that feels like because that was kind of like the first time there was ever a Hyper Battle DVD exclusive form. Mm-hmm. So to me, it almost kind of feels like something that was designed for the show that just didn't make it for one reason or another.
Yeah,
and they threw it into a special.
Oh, Henry Dang's right. We never got Brave from X-Aid, right? Yeah, we didn't get Brave. We didn't get Snipe.
Yeah, because they skipped all the way to Paradox.
Go away. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah,
it's now that we're getting into the more recent series. It's like now more than ever, it feels like a new subline needs to exist.
Well, because that's the problem. Because as we get into these last 10 years or so, every show now has like a dozen riders.
Exactly.
So it's really hard to pick.
I agree with you in the sense that, hey, yeah, if we're thinking like a certain accessory or a certain figure should be made, people in Japan are probably thinking of it. They're probably putting it in the surveys. It probably is going to get made. But when you start discussing a whole new branching line,
it is.
Then you have to start thinking about, well, do they have enough staff for that? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Are they going to hire enough people?
I mean, the problem is like, and I still stand by this point, like, I still find it odd that they are even bothering to do Shoto figures of Soto characters. I get it for those who don't have Soto figures. I mean, I guess I get it. I guess it kind of contradicts with Chronicle because, Chronicle can also go back and do those as well because we do have figures that have appeared in both. So, like, I don't know. It's just odd that I feel like as time goes on, the Shoto line in general has less of a place.
Well, that's the thing is that the logic I've always been saying is that it's so that they can keep those characters on a shelf.
No, I get that. Yeah,
sure.
So who knows where Shoto will go once they catch up?
Right.
maybe they'll spin 2 or 3 waves on Gaim. I don't know.
Maybe. But I mean, like, just like as Corey said, with like, do they have enough people or enough resources? Like, maybe the closer that they get catching up, maybe they would want to focus those more towards doing more frequent Chronicle sets. So.
D-Man is already pulling double duty on Soto Chronicle and Shoto X. And Shoto O. It's triple duty.
So we've gotten remakes of the Shoto writers, like where they updated the joints.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some Heisei writers that they could come back to once
the
stuff gets old. Like, I think they could just go ahead and do Decade now if they want, for the hell of it.
They've done all right.
That's
fair.
Fair. Have they redone Decade?
I don't think they've ever done a Shoto version of him, like with Geo stuff.
They have not.
Oh,
no,
there's that. But I was just thinking because he was like one of the old ones, right?
Well,
yeah, I think so.
What I'm thinking, like in terms of placement, what we've had so far that's crossed over with mainline Soto and Shoto X is X8 and Build, right? And those don't have the updated articulation like we do with the most recent stuff. It's not up to par.
Right.
They feel like completely different figures.
That is just kind of one of the small problems with the Soto line, and it's just that those earlier sets are not bad. Like I still think the X8 figures are. I mean, obviously, I think that we're definitely better than we've ever been. But the X8 figures still, I think, hold up really well. But like, I get it, trying to update them a little bit. Because it has been 5 years.
Blade Raider also making a good point that Shoto should just kind of break its own rules at some point and just start putting allies in there from time to time.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And, that's something I'm okay with.
Yeah.
At least rebranding Shoto O into like a more inclusive.
Yeah. And I also should just say, I brought this up in the Discord recently with this discussion, but just like for clarity, for people who don't remember the blog post or didn't see the episode where we talked about it, Shoto O gets the O from outsider, and it had some sort of phrase attached to it where it was like, this is for characters who stand in the darkness or something. It was kind of just hinting at the idea of this is where all the bad guys go.
Right. I mean, it's either outright villains or it's like people who were a villain at some point in time.
It feels weird, but then you remember before this, they were doing the Shoto verses. So it's like, oh, here's heroes and villains together.
Right.
But now it's like Shoto X is the hero, Shoto O is the villain. It's interesting how they kind of evolved that.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Definitely.
I mean,
Mortal also suggested for Shoto O, just put True Brave in there. Due to it being a mold reuse, then you get in Shoto X, you get Brave in Legacy Gamer because it's the same armor.
What would surprise me is if they did a line of Shoto X with secondary rider. You could have a main rider in there still, but have it be predominantly secondary riders that have not seen the light of day from the series that had already come up before.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Shoto S.
I'm still so upset that we don't have. It's Gatak, it's a sword, it's Drake, it's all of the Kabuto guys.
I would really like to see the sword. I really like the sword's design.
I love the sword. I need Kabuto now. I needed it yesterday. I needed it months ago, years ago.
I need to watch Kabuto.
Yeah, it's one of the only old ones that I have watched all the way through and love deeply.
I was about to say the thing that I think it was Rai who said this once. The first writer show that you watch is going to kind of influence what you look for in writer shows. Kabuto was my first writer. It's a little bit of it's got a cool factor. It's kind of goofy. It's also capable of being emotional. That's why I like.
No, yeah.
But Small Dream also says Shoto does generally do legend writer content faster than Soto. So since Soto is focused on the present, maybe that's part of the current appeal.
I still think Kabuto is a good candidate for Soto Chronicle.
Yeah, but like that when they brought that up, I was just about to say, like, you mean like RKF? Maybe Shoto's the murderer.
It is still kind of interesting that until we got the announcement of Ryuki, we kind of thought it would be we were kind of maybe thinking maybe Forza or something down the line, and then now here he is in Shoto. So
that's the thing that I think is interesting. I don't have it up now because it was like a whole week ago, but someone in our Discord did point out like Shoto's got Forza and Wizard. I guess they don't have much options left for Soda Chronicle right now. They got to do Drive.
Oh no!
They got to do Ghost.
They would get me three times in a row of buying all of them. I mean, well, I guess I'm not buying all of them because I'm not buying the
it's like they've alternated between like Phase 1 Heisei, Phase 2 Heisei, and then they're on Ryuki right now. Literally. So it's like there's only two options: Ghost or Drive.
Like my top 3 rider shows are Gaim, Ryuki, and Drive, and it's like okay, let's do Gaim, Ryuki, and Drive.
When we came up with our own ideas of what to put in Chronicle, you were one that made Drive.
I was, yes. I would love it. I want it to happen. I just maybe not now. Like we could just hold off for a minute.
Maybe it'll be a few months if you're lucky.
Yeah, but at the meantime, I'm buying all the Ryuki ones, so I was like,
so you better save up faster.
Talk to Hasbro. We'll figure it
out. Talk to Hasbro.
What happened before Ryuki? Was that Gaim before Ryuki? Like right before? Okay. Yeah, so I guess we are due for another Neo Heisei.
Phase 2.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, now that with Wizard and Forza being tied up for a minute, it's just driving and Ghost that would be like, Ghost would make sense though if they want to tie it into Saber doing the 3 thing, doing the.
We've gotten a lot more crossover between Chronicle and Soto recently, but I still think.
Or they could still do that one, theorized, hopeful Decade set we've always talked about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. Just
more Wombat also saying that Josh just wants Bandai to wait until Lightning Collection dies before they come for his wallet.
I just need to find a period of time where one is taking a slight break and the other is kind of like, I can't have both of them.
That will never happen.
I know.
That's not happening.
But at least with Ryuki, I'm not buying the premium monsters and they're not locking the riders into premium sets. So I can kind of, like right now it's kind of a smooth-ish sailing for the Soul Chronicle Ryuki one, while Lightning is really taking the focus. But
yeah, all right. I think we've gone on much longer than I thought we would. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out and like listening to us ramble on.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while.
Just wanted to also bring it back to the blog post just to say, text at the end. So how will superhero Senki and Kamen Rider Storius be delivered? ... That will be revealed in a future blog. So the only thing I can say right now is please read the blog from next week onwards.
The note that they didn't specifically say next week.
Yeah, it's just like just continue reading the blog from next week on.
From next week, and also
keep doing what you're doing right now, and I've done
exactly.
Every week.
Yeah.
Keep up with the blog starting next week and maybe for an entire year.
Yeah. We know that Matt Hunt might be. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching us do this. Let us know. I guess the chat's going to be over soon, but let us know in the comments or in the feedback portion of our Discord what you like about the format, if you do like the format, or if you want this changed in any sort of way. Because for the moment, I'm getting a little bit of housekeeping done right now. For the moment, this is just going to be what Soto Pop is. Yeah. Don't have too much time to do the news videos. Don't have too much time to put the podcasts up as quickly as we'd like. And we just wanted to throw some at you guys just to make sure you guys had all the stuff and a place to discuss it. So give us feedback. We got to know more. We got to know if you are enjoying this sort of version of it. And we do eventually want to put this audio up on the Soda Pop podcast, RSS feed. But I want to put everything up sequentially, so this is just going to be where it's going to be delivered for now. And also, it did have a visual component, so I do feel kind of bad putting it up as an audio podcast thing and calling it a podcast.
We talked about every picture.
We did.
I feel like it's really no different than how we could just talk about a bunch of pictures before and never show the pictures.
I guess you're right. So we'll see what happens. So hopefully this is a format that you guys are gonna enjoy. Outside of that, yeah. Oh, awesome! Thanks, Matt. And special thanks to Blade Raider, Mortal Wombat, Small Dream, everybody who came in. Those were just the most recent ones. Henry Dang. I got a lot of you in here. A lot of the regulars. So thanks for showing up.
Yeah,
hope to see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. I don't have my progress key.
Mine is at home. So
keep it
juicy.
You know what? Before I even had the progress key, I just said keep it juicy. So you know what? We're going classic here. Keep it juicy.
Stay juicy. Are we doing the outro card?
I think we are doing that. I think they might be able to hear us, actually.
They definitely 100% can.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Hit Jay in the chat for Juicy. Jay's in the chat, please. Oh, shoot. We're back again. Hold on. All right. We're in the